After opening new roller coasters in 23, 24, and 25, it's safe to say Cedar Point will be taking a long break on new coasters, right? I don't think so. In fact, I predict we could be seeing two of the most fun coasters that the park has ever added in the next 5 years. What is going on? It's Theme Park Brandon, and it's always exciting to talk about the Mecca, the roller coaster capital of the world, Cedar Point, and we have a lot to go over, so let's get into this. Now, before I share my 5-year prediction plan with you, let's take a look and see which predictions that I got right over the last 5 years of Cedar Point. Mind you, the Top Thrill Dragster did not happen when I made this video, because I made it in 2021. Back then, I predicted that in 2022, we would see Kiddie Kingdom removed. Sadly, that obviously did not happen. I then predicted that in 2023, we would see a brand new restaurant replace Wicked Twister to go along with a brand new thrill coaster in the place of Kiddie Kingdom. Now, I did get the new restaurant right, but sadly the coaster was a family coaster opposed to a thrill coaster. In 24, I said Millennium Force Extended Queue would get removed for a flat ride. Well, it did get removed, but this time it was for a VIP lounge. 2025, Cedar Point Shores would add a brand new water park attraction. Well, in 2025, Cedar Point Shores did in fact add a brand new water slide complex. Well, more like a modification, but they did add 2 new slides. Then in 2026, I predicted park improvements, and it would be Snake River Falls last season. Sadly, I missed that one by a year, but 2026, we are seeing park improvements and no major investments. Then in 2027, I predicted that the park will open up a family-themed mock water coaster for the park. Now, this video I'm doing now is going to cover 2027, but since it's been 4 years since I made the previous video, I've changed my stance on that. Starting off with 2027. And this is the year I think there's a very good chance that Maverick could get retracked for its 20th anniversary. Again, El Toro Ryan in this past video brought up a lot of good points that really got me thinking, and it absolutely makes 100% sense. Whether the Heartline roll stays or not, who knows? But I do think Maverick's going to get some major love for the 2027 season, and I cannot be happier because it's my second favorite in the park. And if you love Maverick, then you want to check out my Heartline roll t-shirt, as you see right here. There's only like 12 left. I'm only selling 50, so get yours now and save 20% off on my Black Friday deal that's going on through Sunday with the code TPB20. But that's not all in 27, because I think Cedar Point Shores will be adding a new water coaster of some kind. I am so glad that the new Six Flags, mainly the legacy Cedar Fair parks, are working with manufacturers and bringing water coasters to the parks. It's only about time. Kings Island has added a water coaster. I think there's a very good chance of this, and there's a decent amount of room. They wanted to be a little bit, strategic and unique to be able to fit this style of ride in and have it run right along the beach, as you can see here. Now it's going to get interesting, because 2028, I think we're going to be seeing a new family Vekoma launch coaster that is going to take the place of Snake River Falls and run through Frontier Town. Something like Big Bear Mountain, I just think this is a solid shoe-in for this year, this park, this attraction. It only makes sense. Cedar Point really does lack a coaster that has a height requirement of around 39-40 inches. That's going to feature multiple launches and around 4,000 feet of track length. Vekoma, Six Flags, we already know they're working together a lot, which is fantastic. This would be a great fit for Frontier Town. Maybe Cedar Creek Mine Ride gets the axe. I don't think so. If anything, I think this ride travels over part of the Thunder Canyon, the water ride, and Snake River Falls plot of land, and maybe throughout the rest of Frontier Town somehow. There's a lot of cool things Cedar Point could do with this and have it be interactive with the guests walking underneath it or around it. Either way, Family Coaster 2028. I'm really excited about that one. And don't worry, there's a major thrill coaster in my predictions coming up very soon. Before I continue, check out themeparkbrandon.com for all my merch, my posters, my shirts, my hoodies. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all the support. Now, 2029, I think it's time. I think it's definitely going to happen. We will see Millennium Force Island gutted and we would have a pathway cut through from the Gemini Midway over to Frontier Town or Frontier Trail. It just makes sense. Cedar Point really does lack in the flat ride department, in my opinion, at least as of late. So adding 2 or 3 new flat rides from Zamperla on the island will do really well for the park and add just more capacity, and mainly just the cut through aspect of it. I don't really see a new restaurant or anything like that, but just a new themed area, probably like a little snack grab and go stand, new restrooms, etc. But definitely something that's much needed just to be able to use that island for something. Then in 2030, grab your tissues. It's a sad day. I think Cedar Point's Gemini gets removed. Gemini opened up on June 17th, 1978. So the ride's not young anymore. And it hardly ever duels. The ride is not open on a lot of the days that the park is open, unfortunately. It's not as popular. I still love Gemini. I think it's a very underrated ride. You get great airtime. There's some good head choppers. The ending sucks. The helixes are horrible. But in the end of it, this parcel of land is so valuable and it's so big. And what more could we want than a major new coaster to replace Gemini with? To go along with the Gemini removal, I think we're going to see a bunch of park improvements gearing up for a major 2031 year. With that being said, I predict that Cedar Point will be opening up a major new thrill coaster, a record-breaking one in 2031. As to what type, I mean, it's 5 years out. It could be anything really at this point. But I do feel like there is going to be a lot of buzz and a lot of eyes on RMC for their new Split Rex coaster concept. And what better park to build one than Cedar Point? You already have Still Vengeance, RMC, then you add this major new coaster that can be anywhere from 250 to 350 to 400 or plus feet tall. Who knows? And as you can see by this overlay, just how a ride like this could fit into Cedar Point and the Gemini plot of land. And I wanted to be a little bit fun here, and I think that there's a lot of dead space in the infield of Still Vengeance that I would love to see a coaster travel over Still Vengeance and have a really cool turnaround element here. You can still keep the haunted house building there as well. This ride would give Cedar Point so many things that it could really benefit from: another coaster over 200 feet tall, ejector crazy airtime, potentially the best coaster in the entire world, and just another major coaster that's going to really relieve some of the stress that you see on Top Thrill 2, Steel Vengeance, Maverick, and the other big ones. And again, retheme the whole Gemini Midway. There's still some room here left over for a new ride or two if they really wanted to. Slingshot would stay as well. This coaster would feature a little turn to the left and then a major first drop, 3 or 4 major airtime hills, followed by some insane twists and inversions and so many other unique aspects to it. I cannot wait to see what RMC has with this coaster concept. I do believe it's going to be built sooner than later. We will be riding one of these in the next couple years. Maybe it's going to go to the park in Korea first. Maybe it's going to come to the park in the US. Who knows? But I feel like this area makes the most sense for a brand new thrill coaster of some kind. Other coasters that Cedar Point could be building, obviously, I would love to see a Mach Extreme Spinner. I would also really like to see a Vekoma Flying Coaster or even a Mach Striker Coaster. There's so many unique rides out there that would fit perfectly in with Cedar Point and their current coaster lineup. And I'm not even talking about Intamin at this point. That's how many awesome rides that I think Cedar Point could benefit from. So there you have it, my 5-year prediction plan for Cedar Point. Now, if you want to know how every single coaster at Cedar Point ranks up, in my opinion, from worst to best, then check out the showcase video at the bottom of your screen. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.